Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I was gone for a couple of weeks, but I'm back now and I'm going to try to be more consistent. I was just out and about in the nature for a couple of weeks, so I didn't really have the time or energy or desire to edit any videos, but I'm back. And today's video, I'm going to be doing a very highly requested tour of my skates. And who requested this? A lot of people on TikTok. And I mean a lot. And it's like the most frequently asked question on every single one of my videos. So as far as this video goes, I'm going to do a brief history of my experience on skates, which is not long, and then go over every single one of the skates that I have worn, how much they were, what hardware it came with, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and then I'll go over just like my favorite skates out of all those skates. So yes, let's get right into it. First, my skates. First, my skating experience. I actually started back in December of 2020. My sister Fakey Chell started a couple months before that and was trying to push me to get in on this fun hobby that has been trending like crazy during the pandemic. So she said, I'll buy your pads and I'll buy your helmet if you buy your skates. So I was like, all right, deal. And then I got addicted to skating. This was before I realized I had ADHD. I basically skated maybe 2 to 6 hours a day, every single day, for like 3 months straight. And then I went to Korea. At that point, I was pretty comfortable on skates. I mean, that's what happens when you literally practice 2 to 6 hours every single day. So I go to Korea and I got even better at flat ground skating as far as maneuverability, because I was always taking my skates on the subway, going up and down the escalators. Sidewalks in Korea are all bricks instead of concrete, so they're brick lane sidewalks? I don't really know what it's called, but it's bumpy. And so I got better at going over bumps, stopping really quickly, avoiding people, catching myself when I feel like I'm gonna fall. So got better at flat ground skating. So I started park skating in January of 2021. Went to Korea, met Shorty, as many of you guys may know from her YouTube tutorials. And so Shorty was really helpful in fixing all of my fundamentals, like looking fakey, pumping with my legs and not my upper body. I also had a brief stint on inlines. I learned stuff like backsides and half cabs, and I went back to roller skates, and it was easier to transfer skills that I learned from the inlines over to the roller skates. Once I got back here to the States, I had that little accident that everyone knows about because I can't stop talking about it because that's a coping mechanism, I'm assuming. But I don't think I will ever go back to the park to skate. I don't know if I will, or if I do, when I will. So I will continue just flat ground skating. Yeah, so that's my experience on skates. So let's go into the roller skates. My very first pair of skates, I don't have them with me, but here's a photo of them. The first pair of skates I bought were the Sure Grip Fames. They cost me about $215, and I bought them at Sin City Skates in San Diego. I'm looking at my computer because I wrote down all the parts. The plate was the rock nylon plate. The wheels were the Outdoor Oasis wheels. They're okay. Probably because the bearings are not good. It was the ABEC 1 bearings. That means that you can't take off the wall of the bearings and actually get into the balls to actually clean it and re-lube it. So the second that it gets dirty and stops really spinning, it's just kind of over. As far as these skates go, I would say they're really, really good for a beginner skate. Sure Grip skates are kind of historically a well-established skate company. And the Fames were very good for beginners because you don't want to commit that much money in the beginning, and I also don't want to get hurt because my product is, break down easily. The stiff boot was nice for me to get used to the movement of skating. The toe stops were pretty shit. It came with the Sure Grip Carrera toe stops, and if you ever get skates and they have Sure Grip Carrera toe stops on them, throw it away. All they do is mark up the ground and not stop for you. The friction is just not good. Definitely when you get your first pair of skates, at least make sure that the toe stop is removable, because there are some screw-in toe stops and you don't want that. Yeah, so they were really nice skates. They were just not the look that I wanted, because at the time Moxie Lollies were super, super popular and super, super low in stock, so it just made them more like I want it. So I started hunting for Moxies, and I got really lucky and found a pair from Toe Stop Derby Shop, which is located in Canada, and they had exactly one pair left of the exact color I wanted, the clementine color, in my size. I got them for about $270. Right now I checked and they're being sold for $350, which I don't understand how I got them so cheap. They were not on sale. And it said $350 Canada, but then you convert that and I don't know, it was very confusing. This is my Lolly. I have a little suede toe guard thing from Rollers stuff. I got some butterfly wings from Etsy. Obviously they're supposed to be wheels, but I put them on my flaneurz. So I've got the jam plug from Suregrip. The Lollies have, and I'm gonna read this off. The Lollies have the plastic Powerdyne thrust plate, metal alloy trucks. They came with the Moxie gummy wheels. I think I sold them. The wheels came with ABEC 5 bearings, which is the ones that you want. It has the removable wall. You can actually clean them. You can actually reuse them once they're clean and re-lubed. Yeah, overall, the boot is cute. And I really like the flexibility of the boot. It, I guess, strengthened my ankle, if anything. Honestly, the quality is good. I've worn this quite a lot and you don't see that much wear or tear. It's definitely a good idea if you get skates to get toe covers because you're going to be scuffing up your toes the most and it'll just get worn down quicker. I don't like how flexible the arches are because I personally have really flat arches, so my feet will start to hurt if I wear the Lollies too long. Also, the orange dye would stain my socks, and it still does stain my socks, so I don't know why. Why? It kind of reminds me of my climbing shoes back in the day that would dye my feet blue, but yeah, these are my Moxie Lollies. Pretty cute. Like them. Moving on to my third pair of skates, my Nike Blazers. So flaneurz is the company that has detachable skates. Hook it into the front, and then there are latches in the back that you just... It's easier to do this when you're wearing it. Usually when you're standing, you just go like... Okay, let's just pretend that it's attached. Oh, shit. These are the coolest skates that I've owned. My wrist hurts a lot now. Flaneurz has a couple options. You can get either ready-to-roll skates, which are the skates that they have already created. They have shoes that they chose for their collection, and then they have mounted those shoes. So it's not like you can choose what shoes you want to put on it, but I wanted these shoes specifically. So went to Nordstrom, tried on Blazers, figured out my size, and then ordered them from Nike France because then I get free shipping from France to France. Shipped them to the flaneurz warehouse factory thing, and then they mounted the hardware there. The hardware is just this like hook and then this latch, and then on the plate it's just like a normal plate except they added the hardware here. I did a pretty detailed video on TikTok, so if you're interested, it's there. But there's a hole here, and when you go like this, that releases the shoe. In total, the shoes themselves were like $90, and then the skate, like sending it in and getting all mounted, cost me about $350. So almost $450. International shipping's free. Honestly, I would say it's totally worth it because you're really paying for the parts that come with the skate, and they're really good parts. Like this plate is the Suregrip Rock plate, which is the same plate that was on my very first pair of skates. They're good plates. The trucks are also Suregrip. The wheels that came with this originally were the helium roll line wheels, which are really good for outdoor skating, and they're lightweight. And then unfortunately the toe stop was the Carrera toe stop. I got rid of that really fast and put on my pedal, my Moxie pedal. These are my favorite skates by far. They're so convenient. I went everywhere in Korea with them. If I don't have my skates with me, I felt so claustrophobic because I couldn't just skate somewhere and cut down on my commute time. But on to the next. I had a couple of pairs of custom Van skates. So Rachel actually first ordered a pair of custom Van skates and read online that you should size up because there's an aluminum plate that goes inside that attaches to the plate on the outside. She sized up so much that it actually fit me better than it fit her, so I took those from her. I bought them off of her for like, I don't know, cheap. I don't really remember, but they were really good parts, so I don't know. But I went to Korea and The skates themselves were fine, really well mounted, but the shoe was so small that it hurt my feet so badly. So I bought these from the Van store in Gangnam. They're so cute. So I tried to mount my skates onto this, but the person that I was mounting it with didn't do a very good job, which makes sense. No one really knows how to mount roller skates well unless you've tried it a bunch of times. So the first time that I went skating with them mounted, they actually just like broke. They were misaligned, so my feet were like, woo. So then I got another pair of Vans and tried to do it again, and it didn't work out again. So I decided, let's just stop with the Vans and just go with what Shorty suggests, which is the bonts. So I moved on to the bonts. What I thought was the problem with the Vans is that the sole is rubber, so I guess if you're not mounting it very precisely, then there's a lot of room for error because it's just jiggling around. But the bonts, I believe, are carbon fiber on the bottom, so when you drill a hole in, you like misplace the hole, you can re-drill another hole like right next to it, and the screw won't just slip into the other hole because it's carbon fiber. It just can't fuck it up. But when I was doing the whole drilling process in my apartment, the maintenance man came by and was like, absolutely not, women should not be doing this, like I will do it. And I was like, no, please don't do it. And he was like, and he like fucked up the holes. So I went to Shorty's apartment and was like, I can't let another male touch my skates, please help me. So we sat there together on a hot day and drilled all of the mounting holes into my bonts, and then I heat molded them to my feet. So let me tell you about the parts. I've got the Avanti magnesium plate, I've got a disco block, I've got wide trucks from XOXO, I've got my roller bones bull bombers of size 57, standard bearings, ABEC 5 bearings. I don't really know what the toe stop is because I have a bunch of them now and I just kind of stick whichever one I need into my toe stop. I definitely preferred skating at the park with these skates because with the Vans, what I noticed is that if I took a slam and just like hit my foot on the ground, because the shoe is not very thick, I would literally feel the impact on my toenails or wherever that I slammed this concrete. But with the bonts, if I hit, I've got this layer of protection, and just having a stiffer ankle is nicer. If you were to ask me whether I wanted to skate at the park with a heeled boot or with a flat shoe, I would definitely say flat just because my normal skates that I wear more frequently are flat, so I'm just used to it. Definitely, it's a preference thing. I found it to be easier to learn how to do sit drop-ins with the flat because I can kind of tuck in my legs better. Yeah. But the boots themselves cost about $200. The parts were from my sister, so not that expensive at all. Probably like 100 or 2. So those are my bots. And finally, got my brand new flaneurz. I actually finally am like partnering with them, and it's super exciting because I love their skates, I love the brand. So they sent me over a pair of adidas top 10. They are the right size for my existing plates, so I don't need to get extra plates. I just need to swap out the shoes, which obviously is like part of the convenience of having flaneurz. Oh, yes! See, it's just about weight. But yeah, these are my most recent pair of skates. That ends my skate tour. Those are all of my skates. I hope this was useful and informative. The skates that I would recommend for the beginners are definitely Sugarps, Fames, and then the prettiest that I have are probably the lollys, and then my favorite, obviously, the flaneurz, because of the convenience of everything with them. Yeah, so if you have any questions about my skates or about skating or anything, although I'm not an expert, I feel like I've done quite a lot of research on skating. Leave them down in the comments and I'll try to reply to them, or I'll direct you to some better resources or people who would know better. Yeah, follow my Instagram, follow my TikTok, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.